Today I'm going to be telling you the story of a boy. The boy is in 6th grade, and as he hangs out with his friends like he does every night playing Smash Bros, he's having a great time, when all of a sudden he's cast miles away, it seems, as his best friends start talking about girls and how they're starting to like girls. And the boy was confused. He had never felt so different than his friends. It wouldn't be until about a year later where he would really figure out what was going on. But it was not girls that he was interested in. As he discovered he was different and he knew it wasn't okay to be what he was, where he was from, he became sad. He would go to bed every night crying and just hoping to wake up like his friends, happy and normal. But that doesn't happen. So instead, he continued to grow. And as he grew, so did his sadness. And one night, that sadness led him into a garage. The sadness led him behind the wheel of a car that he ignited. The boy was about to suffocate in the closet he would never escape. It's with sheer luck that that boy made it out of that garage. And that boy is in front of you today. Luck should not determine who grows up. And luckily, there's an organization that is designed to help people like myself never reach that garage. Just about everyone in this room might know someone who's in the LGBTQ community. If you don't, according to the Pew Research Center, as they published in 2016, 87% of Americans now know someone in the community, and if you didn't before, you do now. I have personally donated my time and money to this organization, the Trevor Project, which has established a 24/7 suicide prevention hotline specifically for LGBT youth at risk. To show you why I donate to this organization, I'm going to show you why it's so desperately needed, what exactly the Trevor Project is, and how what they do saves lives every day. Now you might wonder, why do we need a specific hotline for the LGBTQ community? We already have a suicide prevention hotline. Well, according to the CDC's LGBT youth page published on June 2017, 1/3 of LGBT youth made an attempt on their life in the year prior to this study. Compare that to the 7% of their heterosexual contemporaries. The reasons the CDC gives for this difference is complicated, but it does link a higher risk of depression, a higher risk of substance abuse, and a much higher risk of being sexually abused. Now, talking to my personal friends in the LGBTQ community, and through my own story, we've decided that had we talked to someone earlier, anyone, it would have improved our self of being then and now. They need to talk to people. It's a hard truth that in this year, maybe right now today, someone is losing their best friend or their family member. But in 1994, a movie would come along to start a movement to save lives. The problem of LGBT suicide is complex, and it will be very difficult to tackle. But we do have a weapon. The movie Trevor, a beautiful movie about the coming out of a boy, sparked a movement that involved everyone from Ellen DeGeneres to involving health professionals from around the country to start a 24/7 hotline. It wasn't until 1998, when the movie aired on HBO at an event hosted by Ellen DeGeneres, that the call line started. Now, according to Charity Navigator, on February 1st, the Trevor Project is ranked a 4 out of 4-star organization, which means when you pay your money, you know it's going to where it's going to be helpful, and they use it in an effective way. Also, according to Charity Navigator, it is the only accredited charity doing this work for LGBT youth. Now, the Trevor Project's website has claimed to have helped over 100,000 calls. That could have saved countless lives. Now, anyone can help. But I do believe my generation, millennials, right now have a place where we can help the most because we know what it's like to be uncertain. According to Brooke Donatan from the Washington Post in 2014, 44% of college students exhibit signs of depression, which has led to suicide being one of the leading causes of death amongst college students. I believe when you're in pain, you are at the peak time to help someone else in pain. Talking to each other saves each other. Now, we are not Ellen DeGeneres. We don't have a talk show. I don't know if you do. But we still can help. According to the Trevor Project's website, the ways you can help in a direct way is volunteering at a call center. These are the people that if you call the number will answer in your time of need. These people are on the front lines every day saving lives. Right now, you could call the number if you needed it. Now, the difficulty in the call centers is there's only 2 of them. There's one in New York City, and there's one in LA. Now, we're in Illinois here, so unless you one day move to those areas, you can't really help in that way. So how can you help? Well, you can volunteer at Trevor Text or Trevor Chat. All you need for that is a secure internet connection and a place to hold private conversations. You could help save a life by talking to them and telling them what they need to hear. Now, if you don't feel comfortable with that, if you don't think that's your strength, what you can do is donate money. You have to keep the phone lines running. A second that phone line goes down could be a life lost. So every dollar counts. $1 turns 99% of what you need into 100% of what they need to keep it open. $1 matters. Now, if you're like me and you're in college and you don't have too much to spare and you want to help so desperately, there's still a way. And I believe it is the most important way you can help. Spreading the hotline number. 1-866-488-7386. The more people that know this number everywhere across the country can save lives now. Someone needs that number right now, like I did in that garage. In my life, I've been able to help friends come down from this place. My bisexual friend came out to his family and was immediately rejected and cast out of the house. Through the Trevor Project, when he called, they helped him, one, feel better about himself, but most importantly, they directed him to a safe house in this town where he was able to spend the night and take the time for his family to cool down, for him to be welcomed back into his house. It's a sad reality that this happens for many of us in the community, but we can save them. Those lives are not lost. We can save them today. So I've told you about the calls, but what exactly is happening on these calls? What's happening is a person at risk like myself is calling in desperate need, and all they need to hear is that they matter, that it's temporary, and that it gets better. The darkness goes away. They need to make it to tomorrow. Life and death sounds cliche and dramatic, but it is the absolute truth in these moments. So hopefully now that you understand why we need this hotline and what this hotline is and how it's saving lives, if you've been at all moved, I encourage you to go to their website and find out how you can help. At the very least, hit the share button to Facebook and it spreads the phone number. 1-866-488-7386. Please help me spread the word and save some lives.